Okay. My cup. All right. Oh, 6 of you already. I'm looking for my cup because I want to get some cocoa water. Huh. Okay. Super interesting. Okay. All right. Let's see. Maybe I'll use this one. How you guys doing? Feliz. You know, I'm just getting home from our luncheon. Yep. That was my little outfit. Yes. And then I found these shoes. Where did I buy them? I thought I bought them at Payless. They're like sandals, but they have wedges, and and I walk the street with them because look at that. They have the wedge, so you feel comfortable, and it just snatches on. Yeah. You know, when you're old, you don't go for stilettos. That's dangerous. But these, I can walk the Panama sidewalks with them. So we had our monthly meetup. It was lovely. We had 24 ladies, and our speaker came and spoke about end of life preparation, which is what the ladies wanted. We talked about signing up for a plan for cremation, funeral, or repatriation of your body back to the States if that's what you want. So the sisters got their information. We had a nice lunch. I've been kind of sort of fasting, but today I had corvina, which is the sea bass a la plancha. I mean, it's like sauteed in the skillet. So, you know, and then some arugula. I did good, so I am not feeling guilty. But after the meeting, and we sat there and they chatted, and I also opened it to the sisters to ask, what is it that you would like to see SWRA do for you that we're not doing right now, and got some really great feedback. So I always like that. And also I went over my story about how I landed in Panama and how I feel that Panama chose me in the other way around. And so it was a nice moment to, you know, be with each other and get to know each other. We hug. So this is what SWRA is about. Makes my heart sing when I see that. When I see my sisters sitting together. Hola. Thank you. This is for the Etnia Negra. This is still May, and that's why, you know, I do my hair like this. I wrapped it. I had a head wrap that was a bright red, but it's more of an Indian theme, and I was like, oh, that just would be too loud, even though my crossbody purse was red, but I decided it was just too loud, you know, and pink, so. And the gray and the pale beige, so that works. So the sisters really opened up, and I love those ladies. I really do. I feel like a mama bear. So after we finished, I said, I found this place I told you called Gour Market, G-O-U-R and then market. It's like a gourmet market. And it was really close to where I was. It says 15 minutes walk. And I was like, I can do it. But they have been warning us about the humidity. It's like 89, 90%. And you get outside, it just, like I told you on Monday, it just grabs you. And it's like, oh, no, 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 no. So I walked 1 block and then I called the Uber. And then the Uber, we started talking. We're talking about everything happening in Panama. So it took me to the San Francisco market, which is not what I wanted, but it's the smaller market. I'm still going to make it to the main one. But I want you to see, I found some Atlantic salmon. Yeah, I'm so excited. And it was $17. So that's not bad, because I know if you go to Sam's or whatever, you're going to pay that over there. $17, so yes, that's lovely. Now I have to think of what I'm going to cook with it. Because if I'm going to eat fish now, it's going to be sea bass or salmon. And I'm going to try to stay away from the fried one, because until I get to where I want to be for my birthday, which is in July, I'm not going to have fried food. I don't fry anything, but if I want the fish, I usually go and get it, and it's fried. And then, oh, I know, it's called, but this is called Saint Michel. So at that place, they sell, oh, I didn't take any pictures for you guys. But when I go to the main one, which I'm sure is bigger, I'll take pictures. Of course, they have French bread, they have baguettes, and I was like, no bueno, I'm not touching it. I did not see the frozen croissant thing. God, I didn't see it. So I wasn't tempted to get it. But they have a lot of, I saw Dijon mustard, but I have some here, so I was good. I didn't buy any. They have a lot of preserves, all beautiful oil, truffle. They have some, they had truffle crackers. I was tempted, but I didn't buy it. Let's see, lots of frozen food, like pre-packaged something, ravioli, or if you want to make food. But me, I'm like, no pre-packaged stuff. So these are crackers, and they were $2.35. They were pretty affordable. And these are like when you're having tea, and you can have a few of those. So that's what I have. And then on the way in, the young man said, "It's a la caja." I'm like, "It's a pesado. Is it heavy?" He said, "No." So what I had bought, this is my delivery. My delivery that I get almost not every week, almost like every 2 weeks. And I think all the calabaza squash, what do they call it here? They call it calabaza. Zapallo, I think, zapallo. And I'm still not happy with this. It's not orangey enough for me, but so I had that. Now the chayote is always beautiful. 3 chayote. And I got some avocado. I always have avocado. Last time, I could feel the pit moving. That's usually a good sign, according to my grandmother. And now when you order the avocado, they say, do you want it ripe? Do you want a mix of ripe and non-ripe or non-ripe? Oh, that was nice. That was new. That you get a choice. Yeah, so this one probably going to be a couple of days. This one tomorrow. And this one is 3 for $5. All right. This one next week. Right? And I also ordered some eggplant. Oh, they're pretty. Yes. Because I'll tell you what. There is a sister. Last time I did Fridays at Maggie's, I did a Q&A with trivia about Panama, and they really enjoyed that. So they're like, can you do it again? So now I have to work my brain to come up with things that they need to know about Panama. We went about the geography, the history, and they really like that. So one sister had gotten more points than others. So I said, okay, I owe you something, a meal. And she said, oxtail. So I went to the store maybe a couple of weeks ago and got the oxtail. So she was going to Brazil and we couldn't meet. So I thought she was going to have me do it tomorrow. She said, I don't know what happened. So now I said, okay, I know I'm not eating carbs. And if I kind of sort of fast, I can cook the oxtail. So Sunday, we're going to cook oxtail. But we're going to make what I call legume. Legume is stewed vegetable and meat that you can cook and you eat it with like a black bean in a sauce with rice. But we're not doing rice. So we could do black beans and do the legume, which we're going to have oxtail, eggplant, chayote, carrots. Sometimes we put cabbage. I have a cabbage in there. And sometimes we put crabs, and I have some crabs. It's gonna be good. And then I'm gonna do black beans, or maybe red beans. I've been doing black beans a lot. Should I do black beans or should I do kidney beans? I can't do white beans. White beans tears me up. I can't do it. And we're gonna do that, especially if we have cabbage and put it in the middle, and that's gonna be the meal. No grain, but you're welcome to add some quinoa, some white rice, whatever you want. But I'm just saying, oh, why should give me two tangerine, two? Okay, I have to check my order. I don't think that's right, and usually they don't mess up. I asked for my delivery to be delivered tomorrow. She sent me a note. She said, we're gonna be closed on Friday. Can we deliver it on Thursday? And by 8:30 it was here. And I'm telling you, I don't know where they get their coconut, but they're usually humongous. So I just came in and I am very dehydrated, and it's very easy for me to get dehydrated these days. So as you know, when I have those, I just find the hole, and then usually it's the hole that has a little raised thing. That's the one you're gonna pop up, and you're gonna put something in it. Sometimes I use the cork, the wine cork, but I find that this meat thermometer works just as well. Listen, you do whatever works. This is what is needed in our age group community. I get such a warm feeling when you said, I love those. I do. I also love to cook, but not as much. Oh, me? Mm-mm. And you know, these days, and you see that? I put it in, and then I'm just opening it. That's how I open my coconut. And then for whoever told me to wrap it in the plastic bag and drop it to the floor, it works. Ooh, perfecto. And let's see. Yep. And we can get good, fresh coconut water, which is what I need. It's a little slow, so anyway, so that's what we have. So while we were talking about cremation plan, whether you want it to be buried here, burial, we started talking about what are the different scenarios. If they find you in your apartment, which most likely is how they're gonna find most of us, what is the procedure? So whoever finds you, the procedure in Panama, you have to have a doctor confirm death and sign a medical death certificate. Then you call the funeral home that you have a plan with. If you die and you did not have a plan, your family member is going to have to ask around and hire a funeral business to take care of the rest of the thing, because that's the only way you're gonna do it, right? So the doctor signed their certificate, they come, they take the body, they can put it in their morgue, yes, and then they have to go to a government office to get an official death certificate. And only when they get that can they cremate you, or you can have a memorial service, you know, and they have different plans for so many people in a room, flowers or anything like that. Me, I said, I don't need that. You don't need to do a memorial service. Just take my ashes and do whatever you want with them. All right? So, I think we got it all. So what I'm gonna do is put that in here. I just have a taste for some coconut today. And then I tie it, and then I usually go to the patio front. I don't know why, I don't wanna do it in the kitchen. But I go to the patio and I go pop, pop. Oh my goodness, yes. So, I have my fresh cocoa water. See that? I don't buy cocoa water in the store. And I put like some ice cube. I wash my hands when I came in, which is something I do. Yep. Woo-wee. Nice. And that's it. I can rehydrate and get all the goodies from coconut water. So good, so good. But anyway, guys, so I have another coconut. Look, the Big Daddy, so how big they are. I'm gonna have $1.75. The chayote is 85 a piece. The berenjena, which is the eggplant, I don't remember. But the other thing, oh no, I did it. The zapallo, which is the squash, 3 chayote, 2 eggplant, 3 aguacate, and then 2 coconuts. I think I paid $15. And you know what? I'm paying for the convenience of not having to carry the stuff with me. And next time I order, I'm going to order nyame. Nyame is the kind of yam that you can have and you can put in soups. Yep. So that was my escapade for the day. So now it's about almost 5:30 and I have a Spanish class at 5. One other thing that the sister was sharing today is her frustration when she got in a place where they were asking her something she didn't understand, and she also reinforced the need to learn Spanish. Learn Spanish. She said she got her phone out with the app and was trying to ask the lady to speak into the phone. Some people don't want to do that. They don't want to be bothered. Especially if they see a bunch of us coming through and everybody is using an app. Right? Now people speak into it, it translates. It's like, they don't want to do it. And they'll give you attitude, some of them. Please hit the like button, guys, por favor. And they don't like that. So you got to learn Spanish. Start learning Spanish. And the thing is, you could say thank you, buenos dias. That's not enough. When you get into a clinic and they're asking you, do you have an appointment? Tiene cita, tiene una cita. And you don't understand that. You get frustrated, they get frustrated, and then the relationship starts on the wrong foot from the get-go. So, and again, some people, when they take my class, they think I'm going to be able to tell them how to do everything. No, because I don't know where you're going to go and what you're going to need to learn. So you need to learn the basics. You need to learn how to say, do you have, verb, conjugation, then vocab, right? You put those two together, and that's how you learn to speak Spanish, and it takes time. So if you start back there, it's gonna be a lot better. Your experience is gonna be that much richer. And that's why I don't think about Thailand, because I'm thinking learning Thai, that would be hard. So Spanish is a nice compromise for me. So if I were to go anywhere, it would have to be another Spanish or English-speaking country. I already speak French, so I would be okay with French, Spanish. Portuguese, I'm not interested either. So I'm lazy. All right, guys, I'm going to hydrate. I'm going to change and get ready for my class. Now, you know that's good, right? Those of you who love cocoa water, there's nothing like it. And you don't have to put anything in it. Don't put anything in it. No sugar, no vanilla. You don't need it. Just by itself. And I remember traveling to the Dominican Republic and other places where it's fresh. They chop the head and stick a straw in it and give it to you. That's the best. We do have some here. I see them less and less, but I see them in the Spanish, Chinese bodega, the small stores. They have coconut. Where did I see coconut a lot? In Guatemala, lots and lots. At the market, yeah, they sell them. It is the best. It is the best, bar none. Now, I don't have any. I don't drink soda. I haven't in years. And fruit juices, I've given up on that. So it's water or tea or coffee. And the coffee, I'm cutting to about 2 to 3 times a week just because I tried the unsweetened, I can do it. So I got to put my little teaspoon of brown sugar in there. I have to. Hola, Auntie. Good afternoon. We're getting ready to, wow. So good. I was just telling them of my little escapade today. We had our monthly meetup, and we're still celebrating like etnia negra, black ethnicity. So a lot of us are walking around with head turbans and wraps and stuff. And this weekend is going to be all about food. They're going to have food at different places. They had some food event last weekend. But you know, after Sunday, when I finished cooking, I don't feel like going out doing anything else. I went out to have lunch with the sister. We went to a Peruvian restaurant, and I was able to get the loma saltado, which is sauteed or stir-fried beef tips with, of course, they serve with potato. Potatoes in Peru is king, but they did have some rice. I tasted the rice and I had little pieces of the French fries, but that's all I had. But it comes with, it's sauteed with onions and peppers. And I made that dish when I took a cooking course when I went to Peru last year. But you know, I went to Guatemala, thoroughly enjoyed it. Now I have my eye on Guyana to experience the food. You know, Guyana is a mixture of Indian, Caribbean, do they have Chinese? I don't know. But the food is a mix of Caribbean, Trinidadian, and I saw a lot of okra. So I'm ready for it. And they have something they call, is it tarta or tart? Then they put a pineapple and other fruits in it. So I have to really slim down a lot and then go to so I can eat. And I want to go back to Peru so I can eat again. Oh my God, the food in Peru is absolutely on another level. Oh my God. But I told the little server, I said, you have a lot of salt in your food, too salty for me. And I'm not a potato, so, but I eat anything else. But that loma saltado I had, and I had a chicha morada. Chicha morada is a drink they make with black corn. Chicha in Spanish, and even here in Panama, is drinks. You know, for the regular folks. You don't go to a fonda, which is a mom and pop, and that's why I teach my students. You don't ask for a jugo de naranja. You don't ask for a juice of orange juice. You say una chicha de naranja. Okay, you know I'm teaching you Spanish too. Chicha or jugo de. We use de a lot, and everything is turned around. You don't say the black watch. You say the watch black. The adjective goes usually behind the noun. I know. Too much information. TMI. You know what I'm thinking? I may want to do some online Spanish classes. What do you think? Just to teach you the basics, like when you get to the airport, how to get around. I do it online, but I'm talking in terms of a live Spanish, conversational Spanish. You know, I'm always thinking of things to add to my plate, like I don't have enough to do, right? I spoke to a sister this week who is getting ready to come, and she might be listening. She was saying how overwhelmed she felt. She had some animals she wants to bring with her, and watching her beautiful house that she created, you know, she had to sell it and sell her stuff. I'm telling you, that was what was emotional for me when I moved, just watching, you know, because especially when you buy your house in like in the last 10, 15 years, you want to put your stamp on it. This is your personality. You pick everything, every picture, and then you get rid of all of it. Don't forget the like button, guys. I'm watching the numbers. Come on, hit the like button, thumbs up. And that was the most emotional thing for me when they came to my kitchen and they took my island. And these two young men, they were, when I sold my, you know, what is it, my China set. Oh my God. And she's like, nobody's talking about the emotional toll it takes when you're going through the steps of decluttering. It's not even decluttering, it's like getting rid of stuff. And I said, you know, sis, I understand, because the last week before I traveled, I slept in my closet on the floor because they had come and picked up my California king size bed with the nice topper that, you know, even my friend, she said, that bed, you know, you get in there, it envelops you, and you just, the beds are not like that here, okay, I'm just telling you. But when that bed left, I was like, okay, where am I gonna sleep? And that was very uncomfortable, but you go to the uncomfortable because you have something in mind. But she said, I've been crying a lot lately, and I'm like, oh, I understand. So I think I'm gonna do maybe a kumbaya, maybe once a month, you know, for people who are in the process of relocating, where they're at, if there was some advice, and then just to hold each other up. You know, today at the meeting, I said, I felt led to recite Maya Angelou's prayer, and still I rise, and I was boo-hoo crying. I was boo-hoo crying. You may, whatever, but still I rise. And I'm like, with everything we are going through as a society, as a people, and I think it's so important that we just, that's why when I get when I see the ladies, everybody gets a hug, a kiss, because you can't ever do too much of that. We all need a hug. We all need to be in a space where we feel safe, where we can be genuine, where we can let our hair down, where we can share our burden. In the absence of you being present, we can do it in a Zoom. Somebody said yes to what? And Mir, you said yes to which one? The Spanish classes? Oh, Spanish class. Okay, I got it. Okay, Auntie. And of course, it's going to be free. You know, everything I do for you guys is free. You're overwhelmed too. There you go. So we need to do a kumbaya. What should I call it? Give me some ideas. The relocators kumbaya. Kumbaya for relocators. I don't know, but I'm open to suggestion. I know there is a freedom coming with releasing possession, but the process is, it's stressful, it's painful. You know, when my kids left, I didn't cry that much. Getting to the empty nester, I was like, quite like the people who said, bye, honey, and they had a party and the wine. No, I wasn't like that. But it was like, okay, they're leaving. But when I watched everything, and then you start walking around your house, empty. My beautiful red, orange couch that I ordered from California that came online, that fit perfectly in my living room, I had to get rid of it. My paintings, you know, some of them I kept. I brought, you know, like 3 or 4. But you feel like you being ripped naked. She said she was going around hugging her house. It's not funny. It is not funny because I was there. So, and that's why with SWRA, we say, we're here. When you come here, we're here to welcome you. And one sister to the Spanish class. Okay, good. One sister, hello, Lacey. One sister said it would be nice to have like an orientation, welcome to Panama kind of thing, just to kind of give them the the what's up, how things, are done here. And so we're going to be working on that. I asked the sisters, what is it that we can do for you? And that's one of the things that they said. So probably not next week for the Spanish class, maybe the following week, which will be the first week in June. We'll do the Spanish class, and you bring your notebook, and then we're just going to go through the very basic things that people need to learn when they are traveling, about your passport, the airport, your luggage, Airbnbs, Uber, and things like that. All right? Hola, M. Thomas, how are you? Yeah, we're getting ready to wrap up, and I think my phone is gonna die on me. But I had some coconut water, and I'm dehydrated. Got the fan and the AC going. I'm good. Life is good. So I gotta go change for my class. Gertha, you talking about the orientation book, the Welcome to Panama orientation book? Yeah, we're gonna start working on it. I got to use a little Spanish when I was in Madrid. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, it wasn't scheduled. It was one of those impromptu. Yes. And it does something to you when you see only boxes and you're sitting there saying, what the hell is happening? Yes, 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 yes. But what I tell people, when you're feeling those things, you got to get into it. You got to allow yourself to experience it. So when my sister said, I've been crying a lot, it's not a bad thing. She's releasing some of that emotion. And you need to, because and I always tell people, when you're getting, you have your list and you say, I got to do. You get to a point, you say, okay, I'm having a day when I don't do anything. Even though your mind's going to say, oh my God, but you need to do that. You need to call here. You say, no, go to the beach, just detach so you can recharge. That's important, because you can't go. You're not the Energizer Bunny. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I'm still waiting for the thumbs up to go up to 16. What about recommended short-term stay? Okay. If you send me an email, I will give you some ideas, because that would be for, Airbnbs. Yeah. We're in rainy season now, so the high season is basically over. So it might be easier to get Airbnbs. But in the height of the high season, like January, December, it's really tough. But yeah. Just email me. I can't write my email in this chat, but you can find it on the site. Geraldine Choice. Okay. All right, guys. So look for the invite to the online community Spanish class, whatever. I don't know what we're gonna call it yet, but okay. All right, guys. I gotta go. Okay. So I feel refreshed. I feel rehydrated, so I'm ready to go. Bye-bye. Have a good afternoon. Au revoir, everyone. Bye.